Said Aquatics question, I copied you and bought a nice group of Congos, but I can't get the little gits to eat voraciously. Do you just feed flake? Not just flake, but they do eat pretty much everything. I don't feed the Congos specifically, just feed the tank, so it's generally my soft Artemia food is the main thing that I'm putting in there, but also my bug flake. I also do some of the Fluval bug bites, just because Fluval sent me a load of Fluval bug bites, so I've been feeding that recently. What else do I feed in there? Oh, I've got this a cichlid trio formula or duo formula, I can't remember what it is, but I've been trying that out. Results are varying, but yeah, they feed on everything. Certainly the flake they go for, certainly the soft Artemia they go for, so this isn't just me saying, buy my food, they'll go for that. But generally, they'll have a pretty good go at everything. How many did you get? That might be the thing, because I couldn't describe them as anything other than voracious feeders, and I do have quite a lot of them, so I think I've got like 20, 25, something like that, and they definitely swarm round and feed voraciously, as you say. I did have them a long time ago. I had them a couple of times, but I had like groups of 6. And I just remember being really disappointed with them, like thinking, these are a bit crap, these. I think I had females because the males are a lot more finny and showy and just more spectacular. The females are just a little bit more muted than that. So I kind of didn't like them because of that, and they didn't feed overly. They fed, they were fine, I had them for years. But it's just a completely different experience since having them in a bigger group. Like I say, I've got kind of 25 of them, I think. So buy more. That's always my suggestion for everything. Ewan McGalliard says, I'm watching your stream with my 10-year-old daughter. I'm not drinking at all. She wants to know what your favourite community fish is. Hello, Molly. Well, my favourite community fish would probably be guppies or endlers. And the reason I like them is because they're kind of a go-to fish for what can I keep with bleh. So whatever bleh is, guppies and endlers are usually a good solution. They add loads of colour, loads of movement to any fish tank. They're not aggressive, they don't upset any other fish. They're not compatible if the other fish is a bit of a naughty fish and likes to nip fins and things like that, then it might not be a good idea. But for most things, they're great. So just to have them as a community, they look nice and they move a lot, thumbs up. But they also are prolific breeders, so they breed really easily without you having to do anything special. You don't need to mess with your water parameters, you don't need to add special foods or change the water parameters in any way whatsoever. They'll just have fish, have water, you will get babies. And that's really cool to watch. So when you get to see little tiny fry appearing, you get to see that whole life cycle of the fish, and then you can try and play God a little bit, even saying, right, okay, I'm going to add some more plants to this tank to give them a better chance of survival, and you can up the survival rate of your fry. Or you might start separating them into different colours and saying, right, I'm going to have all my red guppies breeding in this tank and breed new strains and create new things and see what happens. And it's so quick, so in a matter of weeks you can get through multiple generations and you can see all that happening right in front of your eyes. So that's what makes them my favourite community fish. And endlers and guppies, I'm kind of lumping them into the same thing together, but I would definitely go with that. In terms of my favourite fish, and this is kind of a community, it's obviously discus are objectively the best fish ever. They're the most beautiful fish, they're the kings of the freshwater aquarium, and you can have them in a community tank because you can have lots of other fish around there. But it's a little bit more involved and a little bit more expensive, and you need bigger tanks and you need lots of heat, which is not good these days because electricity costs a lot of money. So that would be my favourite. But other than that, guppies and endlers. Hope that helps. 2 away from 1,200 subs. It's happening fast and I welcome it with open arms. I learned a lot from this amazing gent here. Who? One day I want to grow up and be as good at editing as he is. So what you need to do is one day you want to grow up and have more time to spend on your editing. Because I was looking back at one of my old videos earlier and I was like, wow, that's dead clever. I wonder how he did that. And then I thought, hang on, that's my video. How did I do that? And it is just spending more time and having more ideas. And thinking. The number one thing, so my number one tip for anyone starting out on a YouTube channel, and it's something I fall foul of myself, but I have to keep reminding myself, is when you're making a video, if you're talking about a thing, show the thing. So you'll see on all these TubeBuddy or vidIQ or whatever it is it's all about, oh, get your thumbnail right, get your title right, all very important things. Show your face, again, very important things. But if I'm talking about an Ember Tetra and I go, look, I've got Ember Tetras in this tank here, and then I start talking to you about Ember Tetras, you don't want this shot. You want this shot to set it up and then film the Ember Tetras afterwards. Do some B-roll. Spend hours trying to get good B-roll of that fish and then cut that in while you're talking about them. It just... now, just think about that, and the next time you watch a video, whether it be from a small channel, from a big channel like Aquarium Co-op or whatever it might be, once you think about that and then watch a video, you'll see the ones that do it and the ones that don't, and you'll think, that's why that's crap and that's why that's good. And I do it all the time. The same for me is I'll often think, oh, I've been talking about a snakehead for 30 seconds and I haven't actually got any footage of a snakehead. It'll be alright, I'll just move on to the next bit. Stop, make the effort, go back and film the thing and put it in. Even if it's only 10 seconds of the snakehead, it makes so much more difference to the viewer, because you think, what is he on about? Because it used to be a thing. Aquarium Co-op used to do this all the time in the olden days, like 4 years ago or whenever. I remember watching Aquarium Co-op when he had fewer subscribers than I do now. And it used to always annoy me that he would be talking about something. And I didn't realise this was the thing that was annoying me. And it was the same with lots of creators in lots of fields, not just fish things. They'll be talking about something. So if it's a fish creator, they'll be saying, oh yeah, I've got... You see, the difference between a cardinal tetra and a neon tetra is the red line doesn't go... And you're like, what? Am I going to have to go and Google this now to see a picture of what you're talking about? And then when they started showing that thing when they were talking about it, you're like, of course, it's obvious. And whether it's something about cars, something about cooking, whatever it is, if the person's talking about a thing and they show the thing, it's so much more engaging. And keeping people on your video because you're showing them what they need to see rather than clicking away to go and look something up triggers the algorithm. That's not a thing, but it does. Keeping people engaged in your content then makes YouTube go, hang on, more people are watching this than usual, I'll show it to more people, and then you get that snowball effect. So sorry about the rant all about how to make YouTube videos from the guy who only has 14,000 subscribers or whatever it is. It's just something that annoys me when I watch creators that are really good in many cases, and then that's the one thing that lets them down. Quick question: can one day old younglings of zebra Daniel survive on spirulina and fish flour, or nothing without artemia? Right. Whoa. Right. Let me try that one again. Can one day old younglings of zebra Daniel survive on spirulina and fish flour, or nothing without artemia? Brine shrimp. So, 1 day old zebra Daniel fry. Can they survive on spirulina and fish flour? So fish flour, that's a term I've not heard, so I don't know what that means. I'm thinking you mean like crushed up flake and things like that, or the dust that you get from fish foods. Yes, but 1 day old zebra Daniel fry generally are going to be surviving on things like infusoria and the microorganisms that will live in a mature tank anyway, rather than anything you're feeding. They're just going to be a bit too big. So a mature tank is what I would say would be the main thing there. But ground up anything is a good additive. Even baby brine shrimp for 1 day old might be a bit too small. Are discus easier to keep now than back in the 70s? I think so. I think they have effectively been domesticated, for want of a better term, from what I know, having spoken to people who did keep discus back in the 70s. Because, you know, I was only made in 1977, so I wasn't keeping discus then. But speaking to those people, it was RO water, it was remineralising water, it was keeping wild discus that did not want to be kept there. Domesticated discus just weren't really a thing yet. And even if they were, it was so much more tougher. But fast answer, yes. There are people keeping discus now, and I'm probably one of them now, that aren't doing all that much different to any other fish that they would keep. I'm doing weekly water changes. Alright, I'm feeding them better things. I'm doing big weekly water changes, but it's not that much harder than any other fish. Question. Right, what is your favourite shark? The big teethy scary ones or the whale sharks? Big teethy scary ones or question mark? Whale sharks are amazing. Whale sharks are amazing. They're amazing because of the size, I think, more than anything else. They're not like a particularly aggressive shark or anything like that. I still think it's not really a shark. So megalodons. So I think they are awesome. Obviously extinct. Obviously. Or are they? It's like a great white shark times 10. It's just much bigger, much scarier, much... It sounded cool. We can find fossils and teeth and stuff from megalodon. Used to love reading books about it with my kid when he was a baby. He was into megalodons. He loved it. I wish they were around. So from that point of view, it's more the teethy ones, I think. They're cool. And then you've got your great whites, your tiger sharks and stuff like that, where they're not really trying to kill you all the time. They just look like they've got... They kind of look like they want to kill you all the time. The sharks that aren't sharks, and I get it, because most fish, the red-tailed black shark, the bala shark, the this shark, the that shark, they're not really sharks. They're just trying to live off the shark's cool name. Like the frilly shark. You think, what a stupid name for a shark, the frilly shark. But the more you read about it, you go, it's got how many teeth? 300 teeth. And they're all angled in a certain direction to the one time, once a year, that it catches something, it's not letting go. They're all barbed teeth that it's got. That's a cool morph of evolution, if nothing else. So, teethy shark, but I don't know which one.